John Carson soared to legendary heights as a Bobcat. He arrived at Brandon University in 1982 by way of Huntersville, North Carolina.
It was pretty laid back, right? Because as you know, Huntersville is, people don't understand, that's the country. And everybody, that's why they call me, I'm a country boy.
After finishing high school, Carson was eager for his next opportunity. His play caught the eye of Doug Hemmings, the brother of coach Jerry Hemmings, whose family was from Mount Airy, North Carolina. The phone rang at the Carsons, and the rest was history.
First of all, I had to figure out where it was at. You know, I've heard of the major cities. I never heard of Brandon, to be honest with you. And I was sitting there. And then when I got to Winnipeg, I've heard of that because I used to see the CFL. Because they used to actually show a few CFL games down there. So I was kind of familiar with that. And I said, oh, Winnipeg. And they go, no, you got to go 2 hours that way. And I'll be like, oh, okay.
Carson's impact was immediate, and by the end of his career, he achieved the goal that remains untouched, being a 5-time first-team All-Canadian.
When I first came, people don't realize I was in the post. And then I wanted to make sure that my game expanded from there. So I would just put time in the gym, make sure that I worked on my shot, my three-point shot got better. And as that went along, my ball handling got a little bit better, you know, and it's just, as things went along from my first year to my second and my third, and then obviously when I hit my fourth and fifth year, I was ready to go.
In 1987, he cemented his legacy in dramatic fashion.
Down the inside, underneath, Carson with the jam. Is he having the game of his life in his finale?
He scored a game-high 38 points and was named tournament MVP as the Bobcats captured their first ever national championship.
It was so much emotions, man. I mean, it's hard to explain, but you're happy, then you're sad at the same time because you know that's your last year of ball. You know, basically grew up with all these guys, and then it's time to move on.
Carson moved on to the pro ranks, where he played one season in Ireland. He then came back to Canada and suited up in the World Basketball League. Carson took his place in the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame in 2007 with the induction ceremony held in Brandon. It's where he met his wife Val, and Carson continued to find out he was still a household name.
Valley takes me over to meet her grandmother, right? And she's like 90 years old, right? So she walks in the room, and then she going to introduce me. Her grandmother knew exactly who I was. She goes, oh, I know who that is, John Carson. It was so funny, man. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there going, what?
In a playing career built through the air, it is fitting that Carson can be found at Calgary International Airport, working for Swissport, handling cargo.
You see these planes on a daily basis, right? And then the amount of stuff that you put on these planes, you still be amazed that it gets off the ground. Seriously, it's unbelievable. I mean, we pack them sometimes, and you wouldn't believe the amount of stuff that's on that plane, plus the passengers.
Carson's first time on a plane was when he made the long trip to Brandon. The years have flown by, but Carson still cherishes the Bobcat journey.
My cousin called me the other day, and he said the same thing. He goes, holy smokes, man, what are you doing up there? And I was going, what? He goes, I pulled up your stuff and I saw this, and I'm like, oh yeah. And he's telling me he's running it down. I go, yep, I did that. But you know, like, what do you say, right? But like I said, I wouldn't change it for anything in the world.